Good afternoon and welcome back to another segment of the panel discussion right here on Health for Mzansi. And this month we are quite on theme and on brand. Of course, the month of August, we are celebrating and acknowledging all things women. So we're going to get into that chat and that discussion. But of course, I'm not going to do it all by myself. I have a panel of ladies here that are more than fit to contribute to this discussion of women fixing their crowns, but also fixing each other's crowns. So to my right, I'm going to ask Tembisa to introduce herself and also to just give a short description of what it is that you do.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Jo-Ann. My name is Tembisa France. I am a psychologist, an educational psychologist. I work full-time for the Department of Education, and I'm running a small private practice. And I am here today just to share some of the things that I do. I'm doing quite a lot of things, coordinating the psychological services, which means I have psychologists that are working with me, about 23 of them, 9 at the district, and I've got 14 that are in our special schools.
Thank you so much, Tembisa. Lerato.
Thank you, Jo-Ann, and for the invite. My name is Lerato Sithole, and I run and manage an activist retreat on the Boshendal Wine Farm. I work for an organization called Betha Foundation, and we have identified a space at the farm, and we work with intentional spaces is what we call them, and just spaces that are inclusive, safe for people to work with, and that houses or allows organizations funded by Bertha, partners and friends to use for networking, conferencing, or just when you need to be writing, thinking, and just getting away from the busyness of life. And that's what I do.
Thank you so much, Lerato, for just summarizing that. We know it's a lot. Yes. But ladies, thank you for joining this space and for entering this discussion as well. I think we're going to start at the beginning, right? So you can reflect on your own experience of what it means in 2023 to be a woman. And how do you experience that? Tembisa, I think I'll start with you.
Thank you, Jo-Ann. Being a woman in 2023, it is quite a huge role because we are career women. We are mothers. We are wives. We are daughters, sisters, friends. We are everything in people that we live with. And that means it brings such a lot into a person's day-to-day activities, causing stress at times, causing depression, anxiety. That's why that 1 in 5 women, they've got depression, they've got mental health issues because of everything that we need to do. Because, in the past, most women used to be at home and look after the house, homemakers, wives, raising children. But now we are CEOs of big companies, and there's a lot that is expected from us.
Yeah.
So as I am here today, I would like to just discuss the mental health of women.
So Tembisa, I love the fact that you mentioned, women's roles have sort of become more, right? And we wear a lot of hats. We can be the CEO, but we still the mother at home. We still the wife. We still the friend, and it can be a lot of pressure at times. And I was alarmed when I read that evidence suggests that twice as many women are prone to conditions such as depression and anxiety than men. So, you've touched on stress, but what are the other sort of symptoms, or let me rather say signs and factors that contribute to this, which are specific to women?
Thank you, Jo-Ann, about that. depression is more common in women than in men due to certain biological, hormonal, social factors that we have. And you can't say someone must snap out of it.
Yeah.
Because depression is not something that you can just snap out of it. And because of our biological factors, things that affect us differently from men, we've got quite a number of depression or different kinds of depression. For instance, we've got something that we call premenstrual depression or premenstrual syndrome, which is PMS, whereby you become moody for weeks before your menstrual cycle. And that is something that men will never ever encounter in their lives. And we've got prenatal depression as well. Yeah. Being pregnant, it is not easy. It is a difficult period of somebody's life. You gain weight, your mood changes. You've got even baby blues. You know, when they speak about baby blues, and men don't understand what we are talking about. And we also have some kind of depression that we call perimenopausal depression. You know, there is menopause, which is the transition into menopause. It is a normal phase of our lives. It's something that we cannot run away from. And it is a woman's phase of life where you can have hot flashes, you can have mood swings, you can't even sleep during that time or during that period of your life. And you know, abuse happens, heartbreak happens, a lot of things happen in somebody's life. Having all these natural things, but you are exposed in abuse, you are exposed in normal life activities. Yeah. So we become depressed more and more. So those are just the three that I want to mention to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. There's a lot going on in our bodies that I'm sure males are like, what's all of that? But Lerato, just coming to you, and we're speaking on, you know, the many hats. Have you experienced that women have to juggle?
No, we are constantly juggling, and I think we've added the juggle from our parents, our mothers, our grandmothers, right? Because we are forever changing. Life is forever changing. You know, with the changes, it calls for almost different demands for people to look into. My sister was saying, you know, we are now working. We now have to bring dough back home, you know, to support, I suppose, your partner. But some of us are also like single parents. You know, we are left to fend for the family because your partner is no longer with you for whatever reason it is, you know. And I feel like female-held households are challenging. I think as women, it's a challenge just to be a woman, just to start off the day and be a woman. But the layers that keep on adding to your challenges also just complicate, you know, how you navigate yourself as a woman, you know. And it's, I don't know if one can downgrade from that, but I think, you know, it's a forever growing challenge daily as a woman, just to be a woman and to hold it up. And the competition that I also think is unnecessary, competing against our counterpart, our male counterpart, adds another complexity to it. And I don't know if that conversation needs to be held, but it's a serious competition, and it's a serious conversation.
And I'm so glad you mentioned that, because why does it need to be a competition?
Look, I think,
are we not each one in partners? You do your thing and I do my thing, and we do it differently, but that's the strength. one doesn't have to be better than the other.
I think if we didn't have the distinct, there's distinct roles, and the way they will be put up is like it's a man's job. And you get strong women that wonder, is it really a man's job? Because I can do it. I think the competition starts there. Is it really a man's job, or is it just by virtue of the fact that more men do it and women didn't really look at that attractively, that it becomes a man's job, I mean, you hear now, like, for sports, for instance, our Banyana team, they are playing a 90-minute game. They are running the same field. They have to train as much as the male team does. But are they paid the same amount of money? Do they get the same amount of promotion, support, recognition? No. I'm just making a very simple, like, one that's almost like fresh in our minds because we just had them playing, in their tournament. And I was thinking to myself, oh my gosh, this has been the conversation since I could remember conversations around men, versus women. And why is it just not automatic? We're all doing the same thing. Why is it just not automatic that we will all be paid the same amount of money? We're doing the same amount of job, So I think that also just leaves you feeling like, is it what it is that is perceived to be weak as a woman because we don't get the equal opportunities and the recognition as our male counterparts?
And linking to that, just opening up, when in the beginning I mentioned, the proverbial crown that women wear. When I say that, what comes to mind when I talk about if you have to look at yourself and fixing your proverbial crown or the crown of your sister, what does that mean? What does that crown symbolize?
I think for me, like I said to you when you called for this, I was like, that is my favorite topic. Especially because I always say to my female friends, together we are stronger. When you are weak, I need to be strong for you. When you're strong and I'm strong, we stand together, back to back, we support each other, we become each other's pillars. When I don't have information, I know I'll call Jo-Ann. She most probably has information for me. It's always that support as women because, I mean, I don't want to sound negative at any time, but somehow you just feel that the system is against you, the odds are against you as a woman. And when you don't have women in the system that are supportive, then it's dysfunctional. But I feel like we are the makers of everything. So we can't afford to be dysfunctional. We can't afford not to be aligned, and we can't afford not to be supportive of each other because we need each other to make this thing work. We support the strong men that are in the system. They have a stronger woman behind them, but they shine every day. And we don't realize that. We just keep pushing, and it leads to the depression. Yep. It leads to the sadness. It leads to the because you don't get recognized. But if us as women had to recognize each other, it's 50% of the job done. So for me, it's always the emotional support. It's always just telling your girlfriend that, girl, you look hot today, If nobody
telling you, yeah.
And like if I say to Jo-Ann, I saw these shorts that would really look so cool on you, that your friend has always got your back, has always got you on mind, is always thinking about you. It's the simplest things. It's really not buying a diamond ring. It's the simplest things, as just calling a girlfriend and, saying positive things. Because I feel like we also hear less positive and just hear negative all the time.
And ladies, this is very interesting. I think you've heard about women being the best in multitasking.
Oh, yes.
And the question is always, is our brain, our mind able to do the mental processes? Are we able to do that heavy duty of multitasking? And everybody is saying we can multitask. And no, our brains are not hardwired to do the multitasking. Multitasking, it causes lower productivity, take longer to complete the task. It decreases even the task quality. It creates stress and it leads to burnout. And if you're multitasking, take for instance, just a simple example of having a baby at your back and you are washing the dishes, our duties at home. You can't do both of them effectively. Because if you are washing the dishes, you're not taking care of the baby that is behind your back. So something
Is neglected.
is neglected. And coming to psychological term, we've got something that we call the psychoneuroimmunological perspective, which is saying everything is lowered if you are multitasking. So women, we need to stop saying we can multitask. You are in your computer, you are doing your emails and you want to take your sandwich. If I can ask you, how does that sandwich taste? Because your focus is on your emails. You won't even know the taste of it after you finished and you wonder, did I eat? Because you were more focused on your emails. So about our heads, I don't think we are doing justice to us. We are not taking care of our mental health. Hence, we are more prone to mental health issues than our counterparts. Not that we are in a competition with men, but depression is...
We're identifying the facts here. And it's just making me think that sometimes you are in a position where you have to multitask. You don't want to. You don't want to read the email and eat. You don't want to wash the dishes while your child is on your back. But Tembisa, sometimes the situation, it is what it is.
It has to happen, but don't make it a daily activity. Take care of yourself. If there is something that can wait, let it wait. Let the baby be at your back until she or he is asleep, and then you do the dishes.
Okay.
Everything can wait in life, but when your mental health is affected, then it becomes an issue for you.
Okay. So just speaking on, prioritizing and rethinking on how to do things, I would like to touch on spaces and creating safe spaces for women. And I think you also spoke to that, Lerato. I think creating a safe space is not something out of this world, extraordinary. It's literally asking someone or reaching out and just be like, are you okay? Do you need help? How can we create more of that on a daily occurrence?
Sure, that's a good question. And I don't think I have the right answer at the moment. But I think you know your friends, I mean, it starts at home. These kind of behaviors, maybe practices, start at home. When, for instance, when your mom is sad, are you going to watch her be sad? As the daughter, her sister, her whatever, ask the person, you're just asking, even though that lady is battered, abused, or, mentally just not in a good space. It just, what it does to your mind. It gives you also like an aha moment. Somebody is paying attention to me. Somebody sees that I'm not okay. And I think, creating a space maybe shouldn't physically be a building, physically be like a place where you go to. It can be in that moment, in that time, where at a quiet time just between the two of us, I say to you, I can see that you are not well, and then that, if I do speak to Lerato, if I speak to whoever, they can listen and I can get myself heard. I can get to say what pains me. I can, or I can just say what excites me. Like I say,
it doesn't have to be negative.
It doesn't have to be negative.
Yeah.
I've always said, like, it's, because negative news travel faster than good news, we always think that we only speak when it's bad. But also with gender-based violence reaching numbers that are so scary, we only believe that it's bad news. So we only think it's people that are going through the toughest that need recognition. Everybody needs recognition, good or bad, And I think if we start early within bringing our kids, boy kids or girl kids, I think equally need to understand that emotions are important and everybody has them.
Yeah.
Everybody feels something. So when you're not feeling well, say something to somebody. When you're feeling good, also say something to somebody, because it's a lesson that everybody has to understand and learn and know when to do it, So coming back to your question, I think a safe space, naturally doesn't mean a building per se. It's just knowing who to call, maybe where to go, or even how to say it when you're not in a good place or you need to be safe.
Health For Mzansi is WhatsApp official. At Health For Mzansi, we put people first. So we have created a safe space where you can get access to our latest health features and be part of a health community. Join our Health Squad or Health Heroes group for more information. Don't forget to follow us on social media.
Welcome back to another segment of the Health For Mzansi panel discussion, and it's for the month of August. And when I say August, we think all things women, celebrating women, acknowledging women, whether it's women in your life, in the community, at work, all over, doesn't really matter. And joining the conversation, as previously stated and announced, we have Tembisa and we have Lerato, but we have another addition, Hayley, who's going to be talking more on the health and wellness side of things. But Hayley, I'm not going to take your thunder away from you. Please introduce yourself and just give us a very short description of what it is that you do.
Thank you, Jo-Ann. Lovely to be here. So my name's Hayley. I am originally from Wellington. However, I now reside in Bloemberg. I am a teacher by profession, an Afrikaans teacher. And at Raylo, it's a private school, high school in Sunningdale. And then I'm a piloxing instructor, which is boxing, Pilates, and dance. It's a combination workout. So I instruct that and in my part-time. And then I also do bodybuilding. I won my first Miss Bikini lineup in July. And yes, so fitness, education, all-rounder.
I think you're speaking on what we mentioned earlier about the different hats. There's a lot of hats that women wear. And I'm very interested specifically to the bodybuilding. And it's perceived as a male-dominated area. We know that is slowly but surely changing. How did it feel to walk in that space as a woman and to carry that crown in this space?
I must say it took a lot of shedding of perceived perceptions of myself. I had to dig deep before I could get up on that stage. I had to define who I am as a woman before going out there and making it public. So pertaining to male dominant, while one does get the misconceptions and people will add their stigma against the sport. But I mean, for a woman who is sporty and loves fitness, loves her body, is in tune with the body, and looks good, why not?
Yeah.
Be sexy and look the part and feel the part. Embrace your feminine.
And I mean, if being toned and like if you're feeling connected to your body, is feeling toned, then why not? Why does it have to be a specific sort of look to feel or to be perceived as that's a woman? Has there been questions like that? Like, aren't you afraid to look more or to lose your feminine touch? Has someone asked you that?
Yes, now I have been asked. I have also been asked, what is my sexual orientation because of my build, and even men would find me intimidating. Are you violent? Sure. Or I'd hear people say, sure, you would really kick someone, and because your body obviously shows that you're strong. So just with that, people link the thing of you must be violent, or you must be this, or you must be that. So it's just the misunderstanding of the sport and not really knowing what it's about.
Definitely. And I think that shows up in other areas as well. I'm reflecting on a personal experience now, which I've just heard, if women show too much emotion, if it's in the workplace, then that also gets labeled. So now we're too scared of, showing emotion because then you're too sensitive, or you are an angry woman. Or have you ladies experienced that? Yeah.
Yes, because, and it's also the degrading, like the using of words to degrade you as because you are challenging a realness, like a real thing maybe in your workplace or within a system. So when you are speaking out against a topic, maybe you do really feel like you are done wrong by, then you're an angry black woman. Like you aggro, you're angry, you're sensitive, you're everything negative. But my problem is, do I ever get complimented if I do speak pro?
Yeah.
Anybody? Do I then get a pat on the shoulder, say, wow, that was cool. Hey, thank you so much for highlighting or acknowledging or whatever. And it's those kind,
or I admire your passion.
Exactly. It's right. So I don't get me started on the angry woman topic, because I've always just looked at it and thought, there's so many levels that we don't see because we're so busy in our life. We don't stop to interpret what the words really mean. But like I keep on saying, like it's just another level. Like there was apartheid, and then there was this, and there was racial, and there was hair, and there was skin, and then there was the angry black. It's just layers on layers upon just like character assassination and not seeing of a person, and then then you have to wear that thing, because now what you have to now prove yourself that you're not angry. Really? How long is that going to take you? And like, is that person worth you actually going out and acting up on a stage and proving that you're not angry?
No. Sure.
Lerato, taking this topic further, we are called emotional beings as women, and we are prone to depression than men. But the statistics shows that it's men who commit suicide than women. Because we show our depression, we show our stress, we cry, we shout, we do everything and anything just to say we are sad at this moment. Yeah. We are aware of what we are feeling. Yeah. And talking about safe spaces, fortunately it's August, it's the Women's Month. And we know it was in 1956 where about 20,000 women, they march to the union buildings. Are we there yet? Do we have safe spaces where there is absence of trauma, where there is no violence, where we can just sit at night, 10 p.m. as 3 women and walk in the streets of our community? And I was just looking at the information, just reading and hearing what's going on within the month of August. Brutal deaths, raped, children are raped, women are raped. And my question is, what's going on with this month of August? Are men trying to prove the fact that it is Women's Month and we can still abuse them? Most women are abused during this month. A lot is happening. So what can we do? Where are our safe spaces? I think Lerato mentioned that. Be my friend, see me, know me, what's going on. Let's check each other, because people are going through a lot.
Yeah.
People are abused, and they have to come to the desk and be the COO of the company. And I have to be the senior psychologist, smiling, happy, and showing everybody that I'm in control. I will like ducks, everything going, but I am showing this face. So we need each other as women. And we need not to be hard to each other. Because most of the time we become hard. Just snap out of it. Just be positive. You don't have to be crying all the time. But give me a shoulder to cry on. Don't even ask me why I'm crying. Just let me be.
Touching on safe spaces, Hayley, what has been a safe space for you? And what has guarded your mental health?
Wow. For me personally, it has been a journey. However, God has really been my pillar of overcoming and finding myself. I wouldn't say I'm fully healed per se. I'm on my healing journey. And with that, it came to a place of being vulnerable with myself and God, before God, asking Him to search my heart, reveal to me what I don't see in myself, taking the input of others, not necessarily the expectations, they're looking for their validation, but hearing their input. You can see my blind spots. My sisters can see my blind spots. So to open my heart up to receive that, and then to sit with myself, to do the work, to dig deeper. And that has created a safe space for me, knowing that within my womanhood, there is so much power to be on this earth, to be able to create and reproduce, being the bearer and carrier. That is creative power. And that is who we are as females. We don't have to speak down on each other. In fact, when you are truly embodying your womanhood, you are able to say to another woman, you are beautiful. Or I can see you're hurting. Wow, can I just sit with you? Do you want to talk about it? Or I can just be here next to you. Not seeking to retaliate or even to speak down on men. Because that's what society is doing. There is an imbalance between the masculine and the feminine polarity. Women going out to attacking women, vice versa, speaking down on men. But I personally think where the role of men and women have come into play, there's gray areas. And just the way roles are going, and women trying to fully embrace and embody the masculine role, is that why men have stepped back and gone, it's easy to just put a label and playing the blame game, instead of just coming to yourself and being honest and being naked with yourself. Yeah.
So on that, that was a lot. You spoke about the creative embodiment, but I also want to touch on it as the power of woman. And if we could, what do you think that is? Because now we're touching on, the female and our counterparts and role and responsibilities. But what is it? What is our power? And what would you say that is? What is the power of a female?
I think,
or is that the superpower?
That is a superpower. But for me, I've always thought, it's just so weird that we're having this conversation. I've always really thought hard about it. And after having kids, I just realized that we are powerful human beings. But I think the one thing that blew my mind, and I don't know, you ladies will feel differently or maybe agree, is when I realized how close we are to just nature as a being. The fact that the moon does its rotation for 28 days and that becomes our cycle,
Yes.
is powerful.
Yes.
It is the most powerful thing. Just study the moon and realize, almost document it daily, what you are going through as a person. Be true to yourself. It's not fancy words. It is the simplest thing. As it waxes and wanes, you are doing the same. For you to get your period and then start the cycle again. And I don't think there's anything closer to the power of creation than that. I don't think so.
I think that's the ultimate power right there, just being so connected to nature and the world around us.
That just talks about intuition. It had to be given to a woman. You had to be called a mother because it's the connection of the umbilical cord that will always just tell you, is it wrong or right? And I mean, we are the creators of beings, so it's power. It's power, guys. Yeah. It's power. And when you have that much power,
use it correctly. Use it correctly. Yes, Tembisa, you wanted to say.
Yes, our power. Thank you, Lerato. Our power. We've got the power of choice. In everything that we are talking about, there's gender-based violence, there's abuse, there's trauma. But we must know as women, we are given the power of choice. And at the end of the day, when you look back, you will wonder in two things: I wish I did, or I'm glad I did. Because sometimes you are in these relationships and you know what's going on, but you keep quiet. And in our quietness, there's a lot that is happening. Then you'll find us being depressed. Depression is real. And if you feel that you are depressed, please get to a psychologist, a psychiatrist, to the family doctor. Because at the end of the day, you need to be medicated. You can be on medication. You cannot do it alone. You can try to do it alone, but it doesn't always help. So get help and let's help each other. You can see when a woman is battered. Don't wait until the person is dead and then you can tell everyone what has been happening in her life. Be a good friend. Report it anonymously as well, because some women, they don't want to report it. Let's help each other.
Definitely. And on that note, ladies, I would like to conclude the discussion by just ending off with, we are in the month of August. If there's a message that you could give to a fellow sister out there, whether it's someone that's younger, whether it's someone that's older, what would that message be? I think, Hayley, we can start off with you.
Definitely not to allow your trauma and past hurts to define you, or to become addicted to it and to remain in that cycle. But to know that you have the power to let it go, to surrender, to feel, to express, to nurture, to heal. And once you do that, you are reclaiming your power. Forgive. Forgive those who hurt you. Forgive those who took from you, who stole from you without permission. And it's painful. It's painful to let those people go. But once you let that go, the beauty that is meant to manifest itself in your life will unfold. So stay true to yourself, stay authentic, be real with yourself. And once you can meet yourself in those depths, that's when you can meet others.
I think for me, it's maybe I'll just be saying what Hayley was saying. But like, I feel like as a person, as a woman, you need to first and foremost just love yourself. Like, look yourself in the mirror and love what you see every day. With or without makeup, with or without your head, like just love yourself in your true original form. Because if you do that, it's very easy for you to see others and love authentically others, because you know how to practice love. And, you know, I think that is, for me, the first step. Then the rest automatically comes, because when you feel the love for yourself, it opens up your brain to possibilities. It opens up your brains to other things of positiveness. But if you're hurt and you're operating from a very negative point, it's very difficult to navigate the outside world or to just be. So start by loving what you see, and the rest will be.
Thank you.
Ending us all.
Jo-Ann, we all want to be strong women. And in our journey being strong women, trying to raise strong women as well, let us be vulnerable. Let us have that moment of saying, I can't do it anymore. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to say, I am weak now. I just need you. I just need 5 minutes of your time. When 5 minutes become 50 minutes. You are not weak when you are saying, it's too much. Yeah. Please help me. And to our friends, women, let's look out for each other. We need each other. And to our beautiful men, please appreciate us. Just tell us we are beautiful. How can I wear an expensive dress and you don't even comment my partner?
Come on now.
How can I do my nails, my facials, my everything, and you just look at me and asking me, where is your lunch? Please recognize me first, and then you ask your lunch. And your lunch will be delicious. And to our children, we want you to be strong women. We want you to be independent. We want you to talk. And by nature, women are created to be more verbal than men. It is in our brain. It is in the center of our brain. And let's use it. But let's use it for positivity and helping each other.
Thank you so very much. Ladies, I just want to thank each and every one of you. You brought wisdom to this discussion from your different and respective industries, but also as women, right? And that's where we connected. So thank you so very much. And yeah, let us not only take hands and believe in sisterhood for the month of August, but let us go far beyond that. And I think the message that stays true after this discussion is that you have the power. So as a woman, believe in your power. Until next time.